Hey, hey! So the very first thing that you need for playing the flute is you need to be able to make a sound on just the head joint. So go ahead and just get out the head joint of the flute. And this is going to your right side, to your right. And what you're going to do is the head joint fits right in this groove right here on your chin. And the bottom of your lip, the very bottom of your bottom lip, you're going to line up with the bottom of the hole. So right here. And then I just roll in just a little bit and I blow across. If you're not getting a sound on the head joint, it's okay. Keep trying. You may need to move the flute up a little bit or down a little bit, or you may need to roll in or roll out to get the right sound. So keep practicing until you can get a good sound on the head joint. All right, so now that you've gotten a good note, a good sound on the mouthpiece, and you've watched the video on how to put the flute together, you are ready to get your hands on that flute. So there are a few points to help us hold the flute. So of course, you've got your head joint. That's point number one. That's helping you to hold your flute up. And then there are other points as we go along. So I'm going to just turn here so you can see. This is the left hand, goes up here, and the right hand goes down here. So the first point is your thumb. So this is the left thumb, and let me zoom in here for you. You can see I'm going to push down right here on this, there's like two here, and I'm actually gonna hold down this one. All right, so then my first finger I'm going to put right on, this would be the second one down. And you actually are putting your index finger right here against the flute. You see that? So it's against the flute and it's on that second key. So you've got a point of holding onto the flute right with your thumb and then with your pointer finger against the flute. So that would be, now you've got 3 points helping you to hold the flute. So now right hand, the thumb is going to go right here. Let me turn this way so you can see better. Is going to go right underneath this first little, these are called trill keys. So your thumb's going right under there, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, so you've got 3 fingers right here, and you can see I've got lots of space in there. And the thumb, just the very tip of the thumb, is holding on to the flute. So just right there, in between the, in between your pointer finger and your middle finger. All right, so there you go. So you've got this point, so now you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your pinky is going to be number 5. And that goes on the bottom piece, the foot joint, and the very first key right there. So let me turn this way so you can see. All right, so thumb, and then this is your left hand again. So thumb, and 1, 2, 3. Now notice I skipped this one right here. And this is just where you typically are putting these fingers. Whoop. So you can see I skipped the first one, then I skipped the third one on the flute. So I've got thumb, 1, 2, 3. It's a much better view from this side. And then you've got your right hand, thumb, 1, 2, 3, and your pinky. Let me turn this way so you can see. There you have it. All right, so that's how you hold the flute. Next video, I will show you some of the first notes you need. All right, so we're gonna start playing the flute. So on your music stand or wherever you can set up some music, I suggest getting out the fingering chart and then also your band packet. So hopefully you watched the video that showed you how to figure out the notes on the staff, and we can figure out our first note. So if you look here, if we go from the bottom up, because this one, there's a line right between the circle, so it's on the line, so I go every good boy. So I know it's a B. And this is actually going to be a B flat because I've got the flat sign over here, a B flat. Now, if you want, you can mark this note as well, but it's the exact same note, so it would be better if you can start trying to practice without writing in every single note. So you know it's a B flat, now you have to figure out how to finger it. So you can see it's on that third line, so I go over here and I'm looking to see, oh, okay, this one right here, B flat, is on the third line. And you can even circle it so that you have it for a reference. And there are a bunch of different ways that you can finger the B flat, but I actually would like you to use this very first one for the B flat. So when you're looking at your instrument, you're holding the thumb and then 1 right here. So remember, you skip this first one. And then down here, I've got my thumb here, and I'm going to push the first key down. So 1, 2, 3. Remember 1, 2, 3? So the first one here, and then I've got my pinky down. That's my B flats. Let's see if I can. There you go. That's the B flat. And then I also need to know how long to hold it, which there was a video for this as well. So this one is a whole note, so it gets 4 beats. 4 beats. All right, and then this right here, the rest, this is the whole rest, so it gets 4 beats. So I'm going to play it for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And notice there are 2 lines and 2 dots, which means I need to repeat. So then I would play it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I do suggest that you pause the video and you practice this on your own until you get a nice sound, and then you can come back to the video and keep working through. So I'm going to keep moving down here, and what I want you to work on for this video is going all the way to number 4, because all of these notes are all B flats. So like I've got a B flat, except this time it gets how many beats? Hopefully you thought 2 beats, as does my rest. Then down here, again, I've got all B flats, and this time it's a quarter note, so it gets 1 beat. And then we get down here, we've got a bunch of B flat quarter notes, and then we've got the quarter rest, which gets 1 beat. All right, so now I'm going to play number 2 for you. So number 2, that's the B flat with the half note. All right. 1, 2. All right, so again, make sure you pause the video, you practice yourself, and then you move on. Here is number 3. So now I've got quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and there's a repeat sign. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so the last one that's all B flats would be number 4. Here we go. Ooh, can you count how many B flats we play before you rest? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 5 B flats that we're going to play before we do the quarter rest. Here's number 4. Rest, 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 rest. All right, so that's B flat. So what I would do is I would practice these and try to get them sounding as good as you can before you move on to the next letter. All right, happy practicing. All right, so now we are ready to do 5 through 8. And this one now you can see is in the space. So if I work up, F, A, C, E. F, A, C, this would be a C. And now we've got half notes, and then, ooh, hopefully you remember what this is, the dotted half note. The dotted half note gets 3 beats. And then we've got our rest. So then if you continue on, we keep going with a bunch of C's, except now we have some eighth notes. And if you remember from music class, 2 eighth notes together equal 1 beat. So the eighth notes are going to be faster than the quarter notes. So like this one, I'd go C, 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 C. All right, so then we go down to number 7, and this one has the B flats and the C's. So this one is in the space, so that's my C, and then this one is on the line, that's my B flat. And then I just go back to a C and then to a B flat. All right, and then number 8 just goes back and forth. C, B flat, C, B flat, C, B flat, and you can follow the rest. So the thing that I would need to know is how to finger a C. So if I go over here to my chart, I'm looking for a C that looks like the one on the 1, 2, 3, the third space. So I don't see that here. This is a C, but it's not the C I'm looking for. So I'm gonna turn this over, and there's the C I'm looking for right here. And our finger, you can see, is just the first finger and the pinky. So let me show you that. All right, so it's just my first finger, no thumb, and then down here is just my pinky. So I still want to make sure that I'm holding onto the flute with all the anchors that I can. So I've got my chin holding onto the flute. I've got this first finger. Now this thumb doesn't get to hold on to anything. And then here I get my thumb. And then here I've got my pinky. So those are my anchors, just this one right here, first finger and pinky. And this guy we actually kind of give a name. We call him Herbert. So this one's just Herbert and pinky. And I always say with the kids to help them remember, C is Herbert and Pinky sitting in a tree, and you probably know the rest. So anyway, this is Herbert and Pinky for the letter C. All right, so let's play. Okay, so I am going to play number 5, and this is my C. So here we go. C. Number 5. Rest. Rest. And don't forget, you can pause the video at any time, and you can come, and then you can practice and then come back to the video. Here is number 6 with our eighth notes, all C's. This would also be a good time to kind of talk about how we play the flute. And I've talked about this with recorder when we started in 3rd grade on the recorders. So when I'm playing, instead of just blowing, first of all, I'm gonna get really dizzy, and second of all, it just doesn't sound as nice. So if you tongue the notes like we've talked about for recorder, it's gonna sound a lot better. Hear the difference? And all I'm doing is with my tongue is I'm thinking ta, 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 ta. And my tongue is really kind of hitting, sort of like, it's definitely hitting at the top, and it's kind of between like where your teeth meet the gums. It's kind of hard to see because you can't see inside my mouth, right? But I'm going ta, 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 and I'm just doing that into the flute. So go ahead and just practice making that sound, that tu sound. And then try it with your flute. And this is especially gonna help you for number 6 because of those eighth notes, because they are faster, but really you should be tonguing every note that you play on the flute. So here's number 6 again, tonguing. All right, so now number 7. This is the one that goes back and forth between C and B flat. So here we go. There's a repeat. All right, almost done with your second note here. So number 8 just goes back and forth between C and B flat. Now sometimes you can kind of get lost in all those C's and those B flats, right? So what I like to do is I like to count to 4 because every one of our measures in this piece has 4 beats in it. So while I'm playing C, B flat, C, B flat, I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, next measure 1, 2, 3, 4, next measure 1, 2, 3, 4, last measure 1, 2, 3. And that helps me so that I stay on task. All right, so this week you are really working on those B flats and those C's. I can't wait to hear your videos. So your assignment for this week is that you need to play number 4 and number 8 for me, and you can upload it right here in Seesaw. Your videos should be really short. So if you need to do your video over and over again yourself, that's totally fine, and then pick the best video to send to me. So your videos, like I said, are gonna be really short. You're gonna do number 4 and you're gonna do number 8. If you want, you can send them all in one video. If you want, you could send them in 2 separate videos. It's totally up to you. But try not to have too much space at the beginning of your video or the end of the video. So you push play or push record and then do your song right away. And if you need to take the video several times before you get like the best shot that you want to send, that's totally fine. It's okay to practice over and over again. That's what's going to make us better, is practicing.